Hi, I'm Sandy Genovese, and today we're looking at creating a Father's Day card. And you can see here that it's going to be themed for a golfer, although this is a card that could also be used like as a birthday card for somebody who's into sports. So I thought the one that we would make today, you can see on this one that I hand wrote Happy Father's Day, but on this one I've left that part out because it could say Happy Birthday or it could say Love You Dad or whatever you could put on the front. But you can see I've just got a golf ball and tee, but the real fun comes when you open it up and you see inside all of the flags for the actually it isn't even 18 holes because for the number of pleats that I created, 14 flags fit better. But I doubt that anybody's going to sit and actually count them. And then you have room at the bottom here for the message that you want to put. Now, my father sadly is no longer with us, but when we cleaned up his apartment, I discovered that the card that I made for him like this, he saved it. And so if you're lucky enough to still have a dad in your life, spend a little bit of extra time to make something really fun like this, because you know what? They're probably going to save it. So in order to do it, we want to start first with the accordion pleat. When you look at this from the back side, this is just a long piece of paper that has accordion pleats in the middle, and I'll show you what I did. I started with paper, and my paper is 6 inches wide by 14 inches long. And what I did first was I folded it in half, and then it's just a little faster this way because now you're folding through two thicknesses. At every 3/4 of an inch, I accordion pleated. So I'm going to accordion pleat. You can see I've got my accordion pleats. That way, when I open it up, half of them are correct, and I only have to reverse fold on one half of the card. And with the folds already there, it's not very hard to go back and just reverse out one half, starting from the middle, so that now it's just faster that way. And if you have one of those wonderful scoring tools, which I do have, but if you don't have it, I thought I'd show you. It really isn't hard to do. You can use a scoring tool, or just like I did, just accordion pleat it by hand. But what I have is, if I were to go back and count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 folds, which results in 4 pleats. Now, if you want to make this a little quicker, maybe your dad only likes to play 9 holes, you can see here, same exact idea, but this is just with 7 folds, which results in 3 pleats. It's totally up to you. Like I said, I don't think they're going to go back and count all the flags inside anyway. So once you have this format, then it's time to look at creating what's going to actually drop inside. And what I did is I started with a long piece of white cardstock that was 1/4 inch wide, and I cut them into 3 3/4 inch lengths. Then I went and I cut a whole bunch of triangles, and these happen to be equilateral triangles, although they don't really need to be. But what I'm going to do, and I'll just do like 3 of them, I'm going to place adhesive on one side all the way to the end of, I'll do 3. In the pleats that I did, I had 4 flags in one pleat, and then the next row had 3 flags, and then 4 flags and 3 flags. So if I take this and I turn it over, and I need to remember which way my flags go. So I'm going to position it so that the flag, turn it so that it faces you, you can see like this. And I'm going to do the same thing with the with the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and place the flag so that it just looks like the flag on a golf course. I used lots of different colors. Of course, any golf course I ever played, the flags are the same color, but it looks more, it's artistic license. And if I turn it over and you can see from the back, you can see how that's how it's going to attach. You're going to make, in my example, I used 14 flags, but you can decide and make as many as you need to. Then you need to number the flags. This one, you can see I've already got 7. I'm not going to stop to do 14 of these, but I'll do 1. So you can see I just have a sticker sheet that has a size number of sticker that will work well for this. So if I make this flag be the flag for hole number 3, You can see how you're going to add the stickers on all the flags. You would do that for all of them. Once you have all of your flags, and I'm not going to stop to do all the rows, but I want to do enough so you get the idea. What you want to do is start at the back, that's the easiest, and then work your way forward. And you only need to put adhesive on the bottom 3/4, because remember that was the size of each pleat. So if I turn my flags over, let's see, I don't know if I need 2 oranges. So if I want, let's say that I want the back row, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say that I want the back row to be 4 flags. Then the middle row would be 3, the next middle row would be 4, and the front would be 3. You can arrange it however you want, but it looks good to stagger the designs because then you're sort of seeing all of them in between each other. So I'm going to just put adhesive on all of them at first. It's a little faster that way. And then facing you, if this is the back, then what I'm going to do is take, and I want to position this so that it goes to the edge and sticks. I'm going to leave some space. I want this one to be all the way, and I'm going to actually close this up so I make sure that my triangle doesn't go off the edge. So if I close this up, I can see that I can actually move this flag over a little bit. So let me move it pretty close to the end, which would be right about there. So you can see, I don't know how well you can see the green with my green background, but you can see I want to make sure that my triangle doesn't go off the edge of the card. So that's my outside edge on this side. Then I can put a couple more inside. So I'll place one here, and I'll place one here. So that ends up being my back row. And then the next row, I want them to be in between. So now I'll place this one here. And then I'll place this one so it's sort of in between the next ones. And the same thing, this one now is going to sit in between those rows. So you can see it goes together quickly. Not so quickly that I'm going to take all your time to show how to do all the pleats, but when you have all the pleats, you can see, here we go, you can see that all of the pleats end up looking just kind of a whole maze of color, which is so fun, especially once you add the numbers on all the flags. Now the other decoration that I did, let's look first at the cover. You can see that I did a golf ball and a tee and a few bands of colored paper. So if I close this up, most people are going to open a card this way. You could make this be the cover and open this way, but I find that most people lift up. So I'm going to position my cover to be here. So I'm going to take and put adhesive on a contrasting shade of blue. I know I say this every time, but you're probably going to want more adhesive than this. And I'll go ahead and position this. If I line up the top and one side, then I only, out of laziness, have to cut the excess off one end. So opening it up makes it a little easier to see where to trim. Then I added a band of a contrasting patterned paper. So I'll put adhesive on that. Add this little band. Once again, in fact, I probably should have waited and I could have trimmed both of those at the same time. And then I'm going to take a golf ball and a tee. And if I want, I'll put the tee down first because the golf ball is going to sit on top. So I'll go ahead and position this in roughly this position, although once the ball is on there, I may decide that I want to move this a little bit. So then I'm going to take my golf ball, put adhesive on that. I think actually I would like this even better, and it might seem more realistic if I put a little foam adhesive behind there and raise that up a little bit. But then this is going to sit like so. And then you can handwrite, as I said, Happy Father's Day, or I love you, Dad, or Happy Birthday if it's a birthday card for a golf lover. And then inside, if I opened this one back up, you can see I basically did on the inside the same thing. Once again, a tee and a golf ball and just a couple of additional tees. Now, I referenced other sports. Imagine if you have a dad who plays tennis. You could have a tennis ball and a tennis racket here, and inside you could have all the tennis rackets sitting up. There's so many opportunities. If he's into baseball, you could have baseball bats, and this could be a baseball glove and a baseball. All kinds of applications. If you think about it, probably most sports, there's going to be something that's a little taller that makes sense to sit in the pleats, and then other additional things to add the front cover and the inside back cover. You know, if the dad in your life, if he's into sports, he is sure to appreciate a sports themed card. Remember, I love hearing your comments. Be sure to share us with your crafting and your scrapbooking friends. If you want to, you can even like us with a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.